Hey YouTube, thank you for stopping by. I know it's been a while. I want to say, first thing, no humans or animals were injured or killed in the making of this model railroad. um, it's been a hoot, but a lot's gotten done. A lot of crazy things went around the past 2 weeks, and maybe longer than that. It seems like a month. But we have some success stories. So, um, got little lights in. Okay. So that's all cool. And I'm going to be turning up this table, show the underside when after I get it flipped up. But I do want to show you a few things here that um, really like. You know, you this hobby can be very frustrating sometimes, and you know, sometimes it gets to you, but then when things start working out and you start seeing what's going on, it's awesome. So let's start with a little walk around, shall we? All right. Okay, let's start with the lights. Huh? Oh, they work. Well, most of them work. I got a couple I gotta hook back up, but not a problem. Like the lights, like them a lot. And going all the way down there, man, that's awesome. I like it. That one back over there. So it's been fun. A little light on top of there too. But one of the things I did get done, and that didn't have any problems with, is one second here. Do. Look at the lighting. Uh, Real simple. 1x2s. Real lightweight. I'm going to put these all the way around. You know, you can turn the coloring and, you know, you go to night vision and all. In fact, let's do night vision, shall we? Oops, that isn't going to work with the main lights on. Duh. Boom. Just a little lighting up there. Like that a lot. Right? Like that a lot. So, got that lighting going on. And shut that off and then just turn back on again. And of course, it didn't do what I wanted it to do. There we go. So, got extra lighting everywhere. It's been great. So, here's the table that you guys have seen before. Pulling straight out. But now, well, I'm in Digitrex. So, that's working out just fine. I did have a problem at the beginning. I don't know who had the worst case of ADD, the guy who wrote the manual for that or me, but real smart guy, but boy, it jumps around. It starts with this quick guide, which would mean you have to have this thing already set up and you've known it, but this is a beginner's thing. And then it took me 3 days to finally run a train with that thing. And I've been dealing with their customer service and all that, but it's just crazy. So I made the table. I got a bigger table. All the electronics are down there. So now I finally have a workspace. Got a few things to do when I get underneath the table. And one of them is I bought one of these on eBay. This is just a 12 volt, excuse me, DC converter. Bought one, plugged it in, dead on arrival. and that was weird. So I hooked up my old one, which is this dangly thing over here, and started working on separating the 3-volt lights from the 12-volt lights. And I had the strips with the screws across them as a bus, and I threw it away. And the reason I threw it away, something within those terminal strips, I had 12 volts coming out. I took the two wires had 12 volts going on it. Once you put those two wires onto this terminal strip, there was no power going. None to nothing. And I sat and took apart every single piece that I had off of that strip, and nothing worked. And then all of a sudden, I just said, it's the strip. And I don't know how that can happen, but it did. So, that's a remote for that, by the way. So I'm using these. Works great. Everything's done like that. Really was a pain to redo it once you thought you had it done. But that's okay. Another thing I did too was to move this table out means there's a lot of wires moving back and forth, especially when everything's in the back. So what I did is this. Turn this around a little bit. And so now there are 4 plugs on the back here, and works great. I must say. This is DC coming in for for all the lights. This goes through the light switch, so then now the lights will be on. This is for the track, and this one is for the interchange, which is the 2 tracks way over there in the corner. Because it's interchange, I'll be parking, like a switcher over there or something, and I don't want the power to be on all the time. So those 4 plug right in, and then before I take this table up, I just unplug those. Turn this thing up on its side. Works great. So I could talk a lot, but I won't, because you know what? I am going to say one thing. It's Christmas time, right? I mean, people are buying stuff and shipping it. Oh my gosh, this is the beginning of this. I bought a bunch of stuff on Walters because they had a big sale. I think it was on Thanksgiving. And 35% off. Any of the trains in Proto or Mainline that they had in stock. So I ordered them. Got a great deal. Box shipped. Supposed to have been here on the 2nd. Today's the 3rd. It's not here. You want to know why? Okay, Milwaukee's where Walter's is at, right? So it went from Milwaukee to Oak Creek in Wisconsin. That's fine. The next thing we see is that it went to Dallas. Now, I live in Tennessee. I am practically due south from Milwaukee. Okay, it wouldn't be that big a deal to drive up there. I've done that many times. So it went to Dallas. And today it got to Nashville. And I hope tomorrow I get my box. But there's some other stuff that I ordered. And the guy lives in Hickory, North Carolina. And that's a 3-hour drive from here, okay? So they pick it up in Hickory, and they tell me it's not going to be here till Friday, this coming up Friday. I'm going, what are you talking about? This should be here in 2 days. Well, it was. It was in Knoxville. And then they shipped it from Knoxville to a little town about 40 miles up the road up on I-75. And then they said, no, we don't need this. So they shipped it back to Knoxville. And hopefully tomorrow I'll get that. It's just crazy already. So for your Christmas experiences, if you're shipping anything, oh my word, do it quick because nothing's going to make anything. So anyway, I had to just rant about that because that was just another thing that's just like, it's just stupid. But anyway, I'm going to lift up the table and we'll be right back. Hey, just 1 minute. If you haven't seen our videos before, you're new to the channel, we're doing a giveaway, and it's a week from Saturday. It's the 13th, I think, of December, 8 o'clock. We're going to do a live stream. First prize in the drawing is a weathered Black Rock and Mohawk freight car. Got metal wheels, Katy couplers, whole 9 yards. Okay, all weathered up for you. So that's number one. Number two is coffee cup. Nice, beautiful. I'm not bringing them all out right now. T-shirt in your size, and a hat, cap. You've seen me in them before. We're just trying to show our appreciation for you guys watching. The channel's been growing, and I appreciate every single one that you watch. And we also have some stickers. And if you want some stickers, just send me an email, blackrockmohawk@icloud.com, and give me your address, and I'll ship you off a sticker, as long as we got them. If you're interested in the drawing, same address, blackrockmohawk@icloud.com, and tell us that you're interested in the drawing, and we'll put you up in there. So it's just a way of saying thank you to y'all, because you've been great to us, and just want to give you some stuff. So sign up, do it, you'll win, and we'll get back to this mess. Okay? Thanks. Bye. All righty. I know you think this is a complete mess, but believe it or not, this was better than what it used to be. Still got some work down here. Hopefully I can button this thing up. But that's what I was talking about now. 12-volt bus is that. And that it works better than these strips like that. But all the track buses are on those, and they've worked fine for, almost a year. So that isn't any big deal. And then, here's the wires that come down with the plugs. And so just when they're hanging there, they're fine. A couple things. These Walthers turnouts are all real close together, and they give you 50 miles of this wire. And I don't want to be messing around with 3 tiny wires and the little plugs that go along with it. So what I did is I had an empty spool from some wire. And so now that all goes around there, and it doesn't look quite so bad. That's 12-volt lighting. The 12-volt lighting also, this used to have its own plug, coming in here, and I had to go plug it in. Now that is hooked up to the 12-volt bus, so there's not an extra plug there. This is 12-volt lighting, and then off of this one right here comes up, and then this is that panel that I showed you before, where this is going to take 12 volts to 3 volts, and you can see all the wires. There's a lot of them. But that worked out real well, and I really appreciate it. I mean, it's awesome. 3-volt lighting there, 12-volt lighting there, and that's all set. I got this one loose wire here that I I didn't realize how much it was dangling, and I was pushing these carts around, and so I gotta do that. And over here, I got one of those Caboose Industries, switch throws that have the 3 prongs that come down. And so this I got to hook up to power the frog that is on that curve. And then I'll show you this down here. This is just for the next table, so that if I have to take a table, up or apart, I just can unplug from the other table, do what I need to do, plug it back in. Like those little plugs a lot. Used them in several different things here. So I still got work to do. And I am going to clean some of this up. But for all intents and purposes, I've got, like I said, a couple lights that I need to fix. Do that over there. This button up here for one of the turnouts, it don't work no more. And so I had to wait for that to come in. By the way, if you have these buttons, they're going to be discontinued. And so they're $8.99 on Walthers, but then you got to pay shipping. I think I got it for $11.99 on Amazon and got it in 2 days. So if you need an extra one around, might not be a bad idea. But it'll be kind of a pain in the butt to do that, but it's fine because the outside of it, all those, it fits the same hole. And just getting that off and putting the other one on there. Matter of fact, this power supply, I'm going to unplug this one down here. And then this is going to hook up to this. So it just plugs in. I've got a little thing back there for it. It worked. Yeah. If they had power to it, it would have worked. I did the whole thing and then plugged it in and found out it didn't work. But that'll make it easy. If I need to pull it, if I pull the table too far away or something, it'll unplug itself. So that'll be all right too. But man, I'll be glad to get done with this. This has just been one thing after another, after another, after another. And I'm done with it. Yeah, I replaced the light. Right there's the wires for it. Right there. But there's the wires that go to it, because it's all right. It is all right. And I think one of the other ones too wasn't working. But I can just lean the table down and take a look at that. But this is, I know this looks messy and blah, 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 blah. But for me, not having to climb underneath the table all the time to do all this, for us older people with disabilities, that's really a pain. Get these brackets, big long brackets that can hold it up. And you got to figure out, for example, this board is going to sit on here, but I have to pull it out away from the table over there because of the backdrop, and also just give me more room this way. So this piece here is there just because if I can set it down and look at it or do something on the top and then flip it up, like just this one is lined up. So I had to add some lumber in there just to make sure it worked, because there's no place like dropping your table and having things crash like I've already done recently. So I appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe, like, all that stuff, but I really do appreciate it. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and Christmas coming. If you need to ship something, get it shipped, because it'll go to, who knows, San Francisco first and then back, who knows. But thank you very much for stopping by, and we'll see you again soon.